Hello everyone, you join me. Welcome back to the channel in a lay-by where our time trial is today. This is the A40, which actually takes you all the way to London, I think. It's the old main road. We're racing a 25-mile time trial on it today. But before we jump into that, yesterday I actually hosted my first, I call it my first ever, come and try hill climb event, and it was held in my local area. I think it was eight guys showed up, and they travelled, or one travelled from as far as Oxford, which was like a 2 and a bit hour drive. Now, to make it worthwhile, obviously a hill climb is really short, but I organised like a bit of a group ride afterwards to, you know, have a chat and go for a coffee and everything else. So it was kind of like bringing people together under like a common thing. So it actually went well, and to be honest, I want to do one a month. And although I was posting them on Strava, this one I just wanted to get it off the ground rather than like overthinking anything. So I'm in full content creator mode today though. I'm not taking part in my own hill climb. I'm instead going to be here to cheer them on and hopefully get some shots of them coming up this climb. This climb is called Hail Thee. It takes you up into the Brecon Beacons from Ammanford. It's a fantastic climb, 3 kilometers at 6%, but it has a massive sting in the tail. 15% for a couple of 100 meters. So once you take that right turn, you come through a little village where the gradient lessens slightly. This gives you a chance to get a little bit of respite before the final steep kicker. The plan is to move these climbs around. If we can fit one in one a month, I would like to showcase some other climbs that we have on offer. So the format for today is the folks will set off at a minute interval. I've given them random numbers to start, and they will set off at the bottom and they will try and set their fastest time on this Strava segment called the Hail Thee Hill Climb. Up. I'll give you a push. Push. No, I'll go. Oh, blimey, that was hard work.
I didn't realise it was that steep. I've never been up here. I've looked down, I know where we are now, but I've never gone up there.
Yeah, but when it's dead straight, it always looks...
And this is deceiving.
Oh, it's like perfectly framed by the... Come in.
Mind your backs, guys. Thank you. Car down.
Oh. Brought my weighing scale, but I forgot to weigh people's bikes with it. I was trying to break down the barrier to entry for a lot of people when they're first starting a new discipline of a sport. They always feel maybe a little bit anxious coming along, and I think having maybe just something that's more like just a gathering, and then you do your hill climb within that, is maybe a nice way for someone to just get their foot in the door with it. Where I'm from, we've got so many cracking climbs. Anyway, it was a great day yesterday, and I think everyone had a great time. We need someone to come along though, because Adam got 4 seconds away from the KOM. We do need someone to come along and take the KOM on these meetups as well, because yeah, we need to have someone who can keep balance in the force, so to speak. So anyway, I'm going to get to this time trial, get kitted up, and we will talk about this time trial today. Right, I've got my number 18. I'm going to head over to the start village, because it'll be easier to base myself there, and then I can just roll out to the van and start, essentially. Although hopefully not. I probably do need a warm-up actually before I do anything else. But this course today is fairly, well, in fact it's brand new, I think, because we've had to change everything in Wales because of these 20-mile-an-hour speed limits. I don't know if you've heard, but essentially we cannot go through the centre of Llandovery anymore. Which, if you don't know where Llandovery is, the Dragon Ride, the massive Gran Fondo event in South Wales, it goes through Llandovery after you've done the Black Mountain, which is the first major climb on the bigger route. And so yeah, we can't go through it, so we now have to start outside Llandovery, and we have to do like an out and back twice type of thing. So a roundabout twice, actually 3 times we've got to go all the way around a roundabout, which is a lot of going around roundabouts, and probably adds up to a fair bit of distance as well actually. 30 riders, so I'm off like mid-pack, which is kind of unusual. I would tend to think I might be off like quite near the end, but because I'm on a road bike, that changes things. There is a prize for first road bike, so I'm obviously going to go for that. So we'll see what happens. Like I don't think it's beyond me that I could be up there in the time trial category as well. I think the key thing for me today is to concentrate on executing my best race, which, given the format of the course, makes it a little bit more challenging, because it's not just a simple out and back, out in a headwind, back in a tailwind. We're going to go out into a headwind, back a little bit in a tailwind, back out in a headwind, and then back all the way into a tailwind. So with the tailwind, that requires a lot of concentration and a lot of changing of pace and changing of pacing. So the cycling club that are organising this is Binia Cycling Club, the club that I started my cycling journey with like 15 years ago. Actually, it's longer than 15, isn't it? No, it is 15 years. I'm 30 this year. There we go. This will do for my little base. There's the sign saying bike race, and there's the main road where we start on, literally there. So this is a good spot. Right, check out my ambience. The trick is, see, when you're doing a time trial and you're going in and out of like headwinds and tailwinds, especially on a course like this where distance wise you're going to be going the same distance into a headwind and the same distance into a tailwind, because it's the same out and back section. What most people forget is though that you're actually spending less time in the tailwind because you're moving faster generally, and you're spending more time in the headwind. So it's just like if you're doing a hilly route, you're spending more time going uphill than you are going downhill overall. So to really nail the pacing, you want to be expending more energy, and of course using more power reserves that you have going into that headwind, and not like considerably less, but certainly less power than you use in a headwind you would use in the tailwind, because it's not really going to bring you as much benefit as if you invest in that headwind. The difficulty is though, like on today, and I think that's what separates like experienced riders with, you know, newcomers, or maybe people that, you know, don't have the grasp of riding with power and pacing and things yet, which, you know, don't get me wrong, it can take years for people to get it right and get it dialed. It's the concept of, you know, riding above and riding below. So, you know, like today for me, if I think I can hold 350 watts for 55 minutes, you know, I'm not just going to go and sit at 350 watts for 55 minutes. On this course, and I won't have the GoPro footage to show you, but there's lots of rollers, you know, it's going up and down, and there's also the sections of headwind and tailwind to deal with. So you've got to factor in all of these things, and when the pros look at Grand Tour time trials, you know, and they have like a flat 30k section and a 10k climb, you know, they already have a pacing plan for what I'm going to do on this section, what I'm going to do on the climb, and then if the wind comes into play, you know, that changes everything altogether again. So how I'm playing it today is, if I want to average 350, for example, I'm going to try and ride 350, 360 into all the headwinds, and obviously bearing in mind I'm going to be spending longer in the headwind. And then in the tailwind, I'm going to, you know, really be quite disciplined and ride around about 330 watts, 320 watts. Obviously coming back is the longest tailwind section, and the longest headwind is going out first of all. In the first like 20-25 minutes is the longest headwind, and then the longest tailwind is the last, you know, 20 minutes. So going out, I think, is going to be crucial. Riding at the upper limit of that pacing strategy for the first 25 minutes, I think, will be key. And then using the next 5-10 minute tailwind section to just ride below. And you can change things on the fly, you know, that's the thing. It's such a long time trial as well. I'll be thinking during it, you know, actually, is this sustainable? Am I on the right pacing strategy? How do I feel today? And I'll be changing things based on internal feedback. Top tip, if you're carrying your keys with you, use like one of these sunglasses bags and put like a safety pin in it. Pin it to the inside of your skin suit, and then you can just pop your car keys in there, and you can carry your car keys in on the inside of your skin suit. I used to do it all the time. We actually used to do it with race radios, funnily enough, because when we were racing UCI races with the race radios, and we didn't have the pockets on our shorts or on our jerseys, yeah, that was the hack. So yeah, aero socks. Now, I should mention, actually, I know lots of you do watch Alex Dowsett's videos. He recently did the Cycling Time Trials road bike only championships. I think I was in Mallorca, or it was like clashing with Mallorca. That's why I didn't do it. But there's certain rules and regulations, and you know, the depth of the wheel and things like that. I'm actually running 45mm black ink front and 60 rear. That's just what they sent me. I know it looks a little bit odd, but back in the day that would have been cool as. Nowadays everyone's just running like super deep wheels front and back. But it looks really nice, I have to admit, on a climbing bike like this. But the rules and regulations, yeah, there's a bunch of things you can do, and I know there's a lot of controversy around, you know, that championship, as Alex was saying, and to be honest, I've not changed anything. Like, the bike is essentially exactly the same as it is normally. Not really much to say. It's just the standard casque, climbing helmet. Obviously there's loads of upgrades you can make to it and things, but I've not done it because I don't have the money or the time really to do that kind of stuff, and it's not anything that, you know, this is not something that I'm targeting, of course, so there's lots of ways you could change the setup. Well, it's pouring with rain now, but only local. It was dry everywhere else on the course, I promise. But the last couple of kilometers was absolutely drenched, but I am mad happy with that. I did 54 minutes and 14 seconds is my unofficial time, and my average power is just about 350 watts. My normalized was 359, 358, yeah, which is like 5.9 watts per kilogram for 54 minutes. Yeah, I'm well happy 44.5 kilometers an hour average speed for the 40 kilometers, or just over 40 kilometers, but we're splitting hairs there. I'm chuffed. I rode it, I think, to perfection. Like, I could feel the headwind going out, and then coming back, you could definitely, like, with the speed on my screen, like, I could definitely see how much faster it was coming back. So I was well under control coming back in the tailwind, and then the final time coming back in the tailwind, I was like, oh, I'm just going to squeeze everything out now, because I've ridden it like fairly cautiously up to that point, but still not too cautiously, obviously. Like, I'm literally right on the limit. That is a 1.00 intensity factor there for 55 minutes. Don't judge my extra long valves because I'm running tubes and old Continental GP 5000 tyres. If I had some faster tyres, I would go faster again, I think. But again, splitting hairs. This is just a bit of fun at the end of the day. So I had some carb mix with me. I had 60 grams of carbs, which I drank throughout the hour, and I would drink it just before the roundabout. So as I was taking, you know, some time to ease up and get ready for going around the roundabout, I would take a drink then, so I wasn't kind of wasting time slowing down or anything like that. It's little things that you think about, and just trying to get a couple of breaths in when you do come to that roundabout, and stretch a little bit, because that's the only time you're going to get a chance, really, because once you come out that roundabout, you want to get back up to speed as quickly as possible, back into rhythm again. So I was running my exposure front light underneath my Wahoo up front. My Garmin radar is tucked away under the seat, and I actually used like sellotape to try and like hold it, but it hasn't really held it, just to stop it from wobbling a little bit. But it's upside down and it worked well. It was kind of tucked up out the way. I quite like deep section wheels. I don't ride them all the time for obvious reasons, but yeah, they run really well. So I get back to the headquarters now and see what the damage is, and see where I stack up.